Welcome to Master the Game. I am Juice, and this is a video that crosses two things I love very much, and that is wrestling and RPGs. Now don't worry, this is not going to be a regular staple of this channel, but in this video I want to talk about some wrestlers that play tabletop RPGs. So let's get started. Those of you out there watching who may not know, I have been a pro wrestling fan my whole life practically, since I was probably 4 years old. I grew up loving Hulk Hogan, then it was Ultimate Warrior, Stone Cold Steve Austin, John Cena, and in recent years, some of the more edgier characters. I liked John Cena when he was the Thugonomics rapper bad guy. I really liked that character, actually, as cheesy as that sounds. But anyways, this video is going to be talking about some pro wrestlers who play RPGs. Now, I'm not going to claim I know all of them because I don't, but this is the ones that I definitely know about who play them or have played them. Okay? So number one, the first guy that comes to mind who is a huge RPG fan is Brandon Cutler from All Elite Wrestling. Now, I bring him up first because he is wearing it on his gear to the ring. I don't know any other wrestler who's doing that right now, and I feel like we should really support him as somebody who's carrying the mantle for us and representing us in a great positive way in the pro wrestling world. Now, pro wrestling for me is a lot like RPGs. I've been made fun of for being a pro wrestling fan a lot in my life, from people saying, "Oh, it's fake, you know that, right?" And I hate when people say that, because just because it's fake doesn't mean it's physical, doesn't mean they get hurt. And my initial reaction is always, well, do you watch TV? Do you watch movies? Because all of that is fake too. So I always hate when people say that. It's kind of a pet peeve of mine, right? So they're basically stunt doubles. Like, they do all their own stunts and they do their own acting, and it's usually live. So, the degree of difficulty there is actually fairly high. You don't have to like it, that's your thing, but I love it, always have, and probably always will. So my number one guy is Brandon Cutler, and so anyways, let's get on to the next one. So I just found out recently that Leva Bates, who is also an AEW wrestler, she represents the girl version of the Librarian, Peter Avalon being the male version, and she had posted to Brandon Cutler on Twitter recently that she plays Dungeons & Dragons. So I thought this was really cool, so I had to give her a mention. I've kind of been a fan of her since she's come up, and I'd like to see how her character develops in AEW. The fact that she plays D&D I thought is really, really cool, and again, it's crossing my nerddoms, so yeah. Another person who plays D&D as well as is a wrestler is Xavier Woods. Now, Xavier Woods is a really smart guy. I believe he's got a PhD. He's been wrestling for years. He wrestled in Impact. He wrestled in WWE. He's currently part of the New Day in WWE, which is one of the hottest acts. They're always at the top with merchandise sales. Hilarious guys, and just overall fun-loving, characters. Well, Xavier Woods has a show on YouTube called Up, Up, Down, Down, and Up, Up, Down, Down usually is video games. However, recently they got into broadcasting D&D. And they have a couple other wrestlers who are on that show, and they're going to be on this list as well. But without giving away who they are, it was really interesting to watch. I believe they were playing Lost Mines of Phandelver, if I remember correctly. I only watched a few episodes because it's hard for me to keep up on all the live plays going on around the world. But from what I caught, it was actually really funny, really entertaining, and I enjoyed it thoroughly. The next wrestler on my list is Ember Moon. Ember Moon is the big D&D fan who I believe got Xavier Woods into D&D, or at least encouraged him to do it on Up, Up, Down, Down. Maybe I'm wrong on that, but she is a huge D&D fan. She's been on Dragon Talk, which is a show put on by Dungeons & Dragons on Twitch as well as YouTube, and that's host Greg Tito, and I I'm forgetting her name right now. I'm terrible for this. But anyways, Ember Moon was on that show as well as her regular appearances on Up, Up, Down, Down. She played in a game with Satine Phoenix, Stefan Pokorny, and a few other people at Gen Con this year. And Ember Moon is also a fantastic representative of the D&D community. Her character in WWE, she said, is inspired by her home Dungeons and Dragons character. And so again, she's one of those people, while her character isn't outright like, oh, this is D&D, you can see the connections once you know, oh, this is like my D&D character, which is a Dragonborn, I believe. So Ember Moon, another great spokesperson for our community in the wrestling world. So go over and give her a like and start rooting for her as well. Plus, she has a really badass entrance song. She wears some cool-ass contacts. Her finisher is basically a Stone Cold Stunner where she does a flip off the top rope, grabs someone by the head, and does a Stone Cold Stunner. I mean, it's a cool finisher. So, anyways, Ember Moon, go and check her out. Another wrestler who's on Up, Up, Down, Down is Tyler Breeze. Now, on Twitter, I think his name is Gorgeous. He's known as the Prince of Pretty, Fashion Police with Fandango. Right now they're in NXT, which is a WWE brand. It's going to be going head-to-head with AEW on Wednesdays. Tyler Breeze has been a really good wrestler for a long time. He's done a lot of good things in NXT. He's helped train some other wrestlers as well. And he's a likable guy. If you have the WWE Network, you can see some behind the scenes stuff from a few years back, and everybody seems to like Tyler Breeze. Very funny character. I'm a fan of Tyler Breeze, and as somebody who has played D&D, I don't know how big of a fan he is of it, but he likes RPGs, so he played in it. For a while, so I'm assuming he's a fan. So that's Tyler Breeze. Go and ask him about his love of RPGs and get to know him a little better. Another wrestler on my list that most people don't know about. He plays with Joe Manganiello in the Gygax dungeon, and that is The Big Show. If you don't know who The Big Show is, he is basically the second coming of Andre the Giant. In fact, when he came into wrestling in the 90s, his name was The Giant in WCW. He was billed as, I think, Andre the Giant's son, even though he's not. Ball for Middle Tennessee, I believe. Big guy, 7 foot tall. Got into wrestling, was on the smaller side, gained a ton of weight over a few years. Since then has gotten his health in order. Now he's just kind of muscular and 7 feet tall. Super hilarious. He's been on Saturday Night Live with The Rock, which was, in my opinion, one of his big coming out parties with how charismatic he is. He's been known to do some great Hulk Hogan imitations and imitations of other characters. The Big Show's awesome. He is just, if you watch his documentaries that have been on the network, WWE Network, or anything like that, it's hard not to like him. And he doesn't wrestle as much these days, but he does do a lot of brand ambassador work for the WWE. He just seems like a genuine good guy as well. So The Big Show is another wrestler that likes Dungeons and Dragons. So again, go check him out. Go find him all over the place. And if you're wanting to get into wrestling, he's a good one to kind of follow a little bit. I believe that covers all of the ones who play regularly. Now, a couple wrestlers who have played, right now the only one that's coming to mind that I can remember off the top of my head is The Rock. The Rock has played Dungeons and Dragons, says he likes it, but does consider himself more of a board gamer. That's pretty cool. The Rock is arguably the biggest superstar in pro wrestling since Hulk Hogan in the 80s. He's a huge movie star, putting out lots of great movies. He's got a fun little rivalry with his friend Kevin Hart. And, so I thought that was cool. And, what else can you say there, right? So that is my list of pro wrestlers into RPGs and D&D. If this is your first time checking out this channel, please smash that subscribe button, hammer that like button, leave a comment below. This was Master the Game. I am Juice. Game on.